Hi everyone, this is Vic Benedict. We're playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on Master Ninja difficulty. This is Chapter 13, the Temple of Sacrifice, and this is a long chapter, but they do get shorter after this. And this is also a hard chapter. You also noticed how I did that Azuna drop right there from midair. All you have to do is, from a jump, you press square triangle. That's how it works in Ninja Gaiden 2. But they also allow you to press square triangle, triangle, just in case people don't know how to do it, I suppose. So we have Blood God just here, 3 count in fact, and the weapon I chose to upgrade is the Falcon's Talons, and I believe you can upgrade 2 weapons again in this chapter since it's so long. But what I like to do here is toss a void at these 2 chainsaw bazooka zombies, take them out, and ideally get a charge going, but I don't. Something happened over here. Yeah, I missed the on landing charge due to the slope of the hill. I couldn't compensate it. I couldn't compensate for it. Just watch out for that kick. That kick would have ended my life right there. You could use the 360 triangle move. You don't have to actually do the UT, and he does that circular swing. You don't get iframes from it though, but it does. It delimbs enemies pretty well. So up here, I'm going to do my charge. And these enemies are very tough. And the thing I always just don't like about this chapter is that the store is at the very beginning of the chapter. You've got to do all your purchasing, make your upgrade decision, and there's just a lot of difficult confrontations, and every time you've got to do it all over again if you die. So that's, but I mean, admittedly, there's no gold Van Gels you have to deal with like in Ninja Gaiden 2. And there's only one Shadow Ninja Reiatsu to fight, whereas there's like at least, God, how many of them were there in Ninja Gaiden 2? But it was a skippable confrontation, but there's like 10 of those guys. But I'm looking forward to that fight. One reason I upgraded the Falcon's Talons is because I have a pretty good, I mean, at least I had a good strategy to beat her on Ninja Gaiden 2. I hope it carries over to this game. But even if it doesn't, I still have other good weapons at level 3 to deal with Elizabeth, who is, in my opinion, the hardest boss in the game. So the technique will appear later in the guide. If you need help early on, just drag the slider over there. And what I did over here is at about this point, you'll notice an edit, or that was really good editing right there on my part. But what I did was I just went back and upgraded. I wasn't expecting fish to come out of there, so that was why that threw me off right there. But I had the Dragon Sword, the Falcon's Talons, the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, all upgraded to level 3. There might be something else I have up to level 3. But notice on these little things, you don't have to actually jump. You just go over and press directionally up. But here's the final confrontation over here. And having done this so recently on Ninja Gaiden 2, notice here the tripwire point, jump right about there and then get your on landing charge. Preferably the 360 on landing charge. And, okay, so it is going to drop that guy, that was good. But normally it hasn't been connecting lately for me, I don't know. Maybe this level is just really weird because it's on a lot of slopes and things like that. But so as you can observe also, the wind blades, oh there, I got a parry right there. But the parry, I don't know, sometimes parry is very helpful, sometimes it's just not. It doesn't do anything but give you a little grace and get you out of the way from getting attacked. But I like not getting hit so much. I like the damage you receive from these water demons, or blood gajas, whatever you want to call them. There's another parry. So basically, I don't know if the parries differ every time, but basically all that parry did was just throw that guy off me. And, ideally a parry should damage an enemy and or delimb him. That's what it's for. So you see that attack right there, that final tail slash is so deadly on Ninja Gaiden 2. But for whatever reason, they've decreased the damage you receive on this game for it, and I'm really thankful for that because it was out of this world crazy damage. It didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense compared to all the damage you receive elsewhere in the game. So little edit right there. I grabbed the diary, didn't want it. Hit the save point here. And I'm going to put the claws on. And even the claws at level 3 can't take these guys out with a fly swallow is in a drop. I think that's regrettable. I mean, these puny guys right here, if you hit them a couple times and then, you see, I think that guy had some damage on him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been dead in one shot. level 3. This level 3 weapon should, one fly swallows in a drop should take care of these guys. If you are concerned also about losing progress, you might want to invest in a Talisman of Rebirth for the save point. That fight's pretty tough. But this is the area where in Ninja Gaiden 2 you fight 3 Shadow Ninja Raids at a time, and there's like 4 or 5 waves of them. And it's just such madness. And here I can actually have a legitimate fight with this guy. And I fight him like a man. I charge a couple times, but basically I use Azuna drops very wisely, and I have a fun fight. I also think this might be skippable, all of this until the save point, because it was skippable in Ninja Gaiden 2. I was actually laughing because when I did Ninja Gaiden 2, having to fight all those Shadow Ninja Reietsus, having to waste so many supplies to take those guys down, and then one time I just ran past them all. And they don't yield very good stuff either. I mean, they'll give you... Sometimes they just give you health. So there is the square triple triangle move. This guy has been delimbed for a while, so I need to take him out. He's got to go down, and he does. And I think these orange ones, they have a little bit more HP. There we go with forward attacks with the, I think that was forward square. So here the guy comes, and I personally, I enjoy this fight because it's just one guy, and it's not so, they went overboard a lot of times in Ninja Gaiden 2, and I know that's an understatement, but remember to evade, watch his claw attack, but you're really walking on a thin line when you fight an enemy like this in this game because of the damage you receive. Again, in Ninja Gaiden 2, they don't damage you so heavily, but hell, I only have to fight 1 here instead of 12. So I'm just keeping my guard up, and I'm not blocking his attacks because I don't think they are blockable. If they are blockable, your guard's going to get immediately broken. So he's going to regenerate a couple of times. You can do charges on him. The thing happened here is I only got ETs a couple times, and he just blocked them, but I know you can do charges on this guy. Another good trick to do, not a trick, but a technique, because nothing I do is a trick. You do the Azuna drop, and then you don't do the full Azuna drop, but if you see him trying to slash at you, you don't press the final button, and then when you land, then you press the triangle button, and it does a really clean and fast, very strong strike, and it's pretty cool. So he blocks these ETs, and if you want to toss the void at him, you could get this battle over with a lot quicker. And I honestly don't know what's better, to OT him or to try to just take him out, because he gave me money, but that money that he gave me is not very much. Trust me, I've calculated it before. Not very recently, but when I was doing this guide before, just because I'm always curious to see how much money enemies drop in this game. Ooh, got grabbed right there. I was in the worst spot imaginable at that particular moment. But I was surprised. This killed everything. So they gave me a lot of health here too. I didn't need it though because it's a save point coming up. Also, I'm not going to be able to grab this item off that course. I'll come back for it though. But press forward and save your progress. Okay, moving on. Once we get to the save point, I just want to let everyone know that I restarted this chapter and I wasn't satisfied with upgrading the Falcon's Talons, so what I did instead was upgrade the Scythe to level 3. And it's still going to have to remain to be seen if we can upgrade 2 weapons. I'm almost 100% sure that you can, but whatever I get to Elizabeth with, I'll probably have enough resources to beat her, so it'll be fine. So this fight here, it's mandatory, and we're dealing with the death worms plus bugs, which we slayed right there. And then down here is an optional room. It's a chance to get some more money and to get some healing orbs. Although it's one of those things where you've got to take a lot of risk, but normally this kind of thing doesn't happen. Normally these guys are very aggressive and they'll jump on you, so just really watch out for that. And if you could give 2 shits about those orbs, don't even go for them. But the next fight is pretty much the exact same fight. And in Ninja Gaiden 2, there's like 10 of these guys, all in this room. And I think it's also a mandatory fight. But this is pretty much the same fight. And I just finished the staircase fight, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently and the same as I did in Ninja Gaiden 2, because there is stuff to talk about on the staircase fight, but it's not the huge ordeal that it is in Ninja Gaiden 2. It's more of a thing that I want everybody to experience and enjoy. And if I'm commentating over it, I think it robs it of some of the enjoyment, because you can't hear the music all the way, and the music is really what makes it intensify to a really high degree of entertainment. So there's going to be some edits too on the staircase. Because the weapons I use on the staircase fight are going to be the Dragon Sword and the Tonfa. So I switched 3 or 4 times, and I made sure I edited that out. Edit me switching the weapons, so it's a little bit more seamless of an experience for you all, and you can enjoy it more. And that's pretty much what I do. I don't cater to my viewers, but I do respect them and want them to have the best possible experience. So there's also a couple of cool slow motion effects on it. Well, just one, but it's a fun one. And what's going to happen is, after the Quizetical boss fight, or mid-level boss fight, and by the way, he's optional, you don't have to fight him, but if you want to earn 10,000 in essence, that's your ticket to doing so. And then I'll discuss the Quizetical boss fight, and then I'll just leave the staircase fight uncommentated and in the regular, normal decibel level. And it's going to be something you guys will really enjoy, because I did that on the last. Here's what I did. On Ninja Gaiden 2, my first campaign, I talked over it, and then the second time, I thought it was such an awesome fight that I decided to just not narrate it. And it's not a matter of me, copping out or taking a lazy way out. It's just it's too awesome to be experienced with the narration. So. This Jewel of the Demon Seal is the last one, so we have all our Ninpo completely upgraded. And I didn't get too much reception back then when I published this chapter for Ninja Gaiden 2, but I imagine a lot of people enjoyed it. And not everything needs to be commentated, especially that fight. There's not even any IS ninjas. It's all just gray ninjas. It's what it is, but it's not. Trust me, it's not difficult, especially with all these weapons we have, things like that. So here are these guys again, these lesser fiends. We would be fighting Chainsaw Bazooka zombies down here and Blood Gajas, but yeah, these guys are extremely tough, just really aggressive. You notice I'm doing some 360 attacks, and they're serving me pretty well, although they don't serve to de-limb these guys. So when I do get to the final save point in this chapter, we will find out if I can upgrade to 2 weapons in this stage like we could in chapter 7, chapter 9. And I'm actually, what I'll do is I'll just leave an annotation I'll put an annotation in the video. Watch out for these 2 Vangels, just evade their attacks, and then do combos that you're comfortable with and that don't leave you with too much recovery instances. Because I'm almost positive you can upgrade too. So here's a situation I don't much care for. We've got a couple of lesser fiends here, plus those bats. So if you're trying to hit the bats, you might hit these guys. So probably shouldn't focus on bow attacks right here. Just focus on killing these guys with the knife. If you have to, go around the corner. You might even unspawn the bats, who knows. But what leads me to think that you get 2 weapon upgrades is because I'm almost damn certain that the final shop is blue. and that tells you right away that it's one of those places where you can upgrade. And I think you might be able to upgrade every single weapon. I just when I've done this campaign other times, I just haven't been interested in the other weapons, so I really haven't focused on it. See right there? There's another edit of mine where I'm just trying to save you guys time, and I just edit out me switching to that Nimpo right there, and you know, that could be misconstrued as people pleasing and, you know, trying to retain the highest degree of what would you call it, I guess, attention, and make sure everybody always is paying attention to my videos, but it's really not. I don't do it all the time. In fact, I very seldom do it. It's just when I catch it, and you know, I want things to be a little bit more seamless. It's really easy, especially when you keep doing these guides like I've been doing. I think I've got like over 1,000 videos on my other channel and over 500 here, so I've made like 1,500 videos. And the more you do things, not only the easier it gets, but the faster you get at it. So these days, I'm really fast at this, so it doesn't even take me any time. I mean, it takes time, but not as much as it used to. So there we go. Gonna get I used the Grains of Spiritual Life right there only because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to get it from this course right here. So once we get this, we're gonna go back to the save point and go on a very long stretch of battles without a save point, because the thing is, once we fall down the pit over here, we can't go back. So okay, you might also notice that I have the Howling Cannon equipped, and in the last chapter I was, you know, calling that thing so many names and deriding it and calling it useless, but it does have one function. I realized it was taking more damage off Quizetical, even though it's a slower weapon and it takes more time to recover from it. Quizetical does get damaged more with this gun, so it does have one function in this game. For me, anyway, that particular mid-level boss, if you want to call him a boss, because a boss that's optional really shouldn't even be called a boss. The thing is, he held a key in Ninja Gaiden 2 that you had to get to progress, but in this game, you know, like doors are always open for you, so there's no need for keys. So what they decided to do rather was to just keep him in the game and give. Instead of giving out a key for the prize, you just get money. So you get 10,000 in essence. So make sure you know, you're not wasting too many items to offset that money you get. In Ninja Gaiden 2, you could throw 2 level 3 piercing voids at him and kill him. It's incredible, and I thought you could do it here too, but I think they got wise to that trick. But it only takes away about 2 hits. It only takes away about what 2 hits take away from your Howling Cannon. So do the helmet splitter right here, and he's going to come out. And again, you don't have to fight this boss if you don't want to, but start hitting him right away with the Howling Cannon. And you can't hit him all the time, but I keep hitting him all the time anyway, just to do it anyway. He's got a really slow projectile that's like incredibly slow, like too slow to even be believable. And then he's got a series of fireballs that are faster, but they're easy to dodge. And then he's also got a laser attack that's fast and hard to dodge. So when I see him telegraph that move, I often drop the Nimpo, that right there. Every time he telegraphs in that manner, he's going to do that attack. So you see how much the void took off? It would take off half his life in Ninja Gaiden 2. It was crazy, but I loved it. But I do think Quizetical was overused in Ninja Gaiden 2 because he's here, and he was also the boss of the previous chapter, and you had to face two of them actually. So I'm throwing the void again because I just don't. I'm not comfortable dodging that move. It's a really tough move to dodge. So anyway, we're going to grab our money here. There's also an item over to the left which I can't have because my health's full and I already have all those items. But what I'm going to do is leave the rest of the video up to the final battle. So enjoy it because it's going to be in the regular decibel level. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and I don't have much time to talk here, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be using the Fly Swallow Falcon's Talons method on Elizabeth. It's either that or spam UTs with the Enmith's Fang or with the Scythe, or do 360 triangle attacks, which I'm going to do on the second form of her Evil Elizabeth. So, the weapons I have up to level 3 include this weapon here, the Dragon Sword, and the Falcon's Talons. And we have some chests over here to grab. You can grab the collectible if you want to. But I did restart the chapter because I wasn't satisfied, and I'm sorry to confuse anybody. But here we go. We're going to fight Elizabeth. Okay, I may have said that I was going to be going with the Falcon's Talons, but it wasn't working for me, nor was the Scythe, nor was the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, nor was the Dragon's Sword. So what you're seeing me use now is a Lunar, and it might seem kind of odd for me to be using this weapon on this enemy, but it works really well. So what I did was I actually started this chapter many times over, and the Lunar was working really well for me on level 2, but it wasn't taking enough damage off her, so I restarted. And by the way, here, I wanted the Inferno equipped, but what happened was I came here and my Piercing Void was on, but I was doing so well I just ran with it. But if there's any enemy in this game that's going to fuck you, and I mean fuck you really good, it's going to be this one right here, Elizabeth. She's very tough, superhumanly fast, very intuitive about reacting to your moves, and but the thing about that is that you can overcome it, and it took me like 3 or 4 hours to beat her today, and I could have gone the cheap route, but I said to myself, I know I will regret it. And by the way, I will be talking in-depth strategy because I'm going to have this in slow-mo. I have some other people expressing good interest in that. When she's in that posture, when she's doing her heart attack, you can knock her out of the air and she'll give you free damage, but obviously we can't do that move with this one. You could do it with other weapons, Falcon's Talons, even the Scythe you can do the Flying Swallow, but it's random. I believe it's random. So all I'm really doing here is pressing XXY and just keeping my guard up and avoiding that tail stab. It doesn't that tail stab. It doesn't eviscerate you unless it's the one where she just does one tail stab, and I think it's instant death. You may get a little bit of a reprieve if you have some healing items. So that slash move, you want to wait till the last one's done and then evade back and start hitting her. But this weapon just has a lot of it just goes all over the place, and it was so hard for me to find a weapon that would work on this boss, because I think she's the hardest enemy in the game. She should be the final boss. She's that difficult. But once this starts going in slow motion, I'm going to be talking about in-depth strategy about how to beat her. But in all honesty, I don't do much variety of things. So it's going to be easy for people who are uninitiated to this bitch. Anyway, she's just gone right now, and okay, so there's that attack right there. She goes in for her heartbeat. I'm trying to use my Inferno. It's not registering that I'm pressing those buttons. That's why I want the Inferno equipped. It registers it more. So I'm keeping my guard up, and if you've been evading bosses throughout this game, you should know how to evade. I mean, it's simple evasion 101 on this boss. You just don't want to stick around her too closely. You want to kind of measure her up and wait till she attacks. Watch out for the swoop. Just evade the swoop and go in for XXY combos. And the great thing about it is that final one that you do. Also, sometimes I do the Azuna drop mimic. I mimic the Azuna drop with this weapon, and even though some of them might not hit her, that downward thrust always does. It's really good, like on Genshin in Chapter 2. So if you could just keep your distance, you should be okay. And then just evade at the proper times, XXY, and just keep evading. Don't try to block her attacks, even though they are blockable, but they break your guard. Some of them will go through your guard. Here's the Azuna drop. Look at that. Final one goes down, but it missed her, but it's okay. You just don't want her to do the heartbeat attack and siphon your life into hers, and that's like the worst thing that could possibly happen. So you can avoid that every single time, provided you have Nimpo. So just cast an Nimpo when she does that, or evade it. I don't know how to evade it, so I can't bring that to the strategy guide. I mean, it's pretty basic, like evading left and right, but I don't focus on evading, because why not try to get some damage off her and stop her from damaging me? Look at that, that's pretty good damage. I don't know if the Inferno takes away that much, to be all honest. But make sure you definitely come here with every single item that you can possibly have. Have a life or a talisman equipped. So XXY. See, that final one is the Y attack. And just always keep the camera centered, always press the R1 button to know where she is, because she flies all over the place. Here goes the heartbeat attack. And since I hadn't used a Talisman of Rebirth, I need to use this on her so that I don't end up having my own life siphon back into her. So here's a really delicate situation where she hit me a little bit, and it might be going into her health bar when I come down, because I know I had to activate a Life of the Gods over here somewhere. But if you want to, you can just use scythe attacks. You don't have to make this fight the horrendous nightmare battle it was for me, but I've done her so many times that whenever I do a cheap strategy, I always feel regret and remorse, and I feel ashamed of myself. So never again will I be cheap on her, because it's made me a better player to be able to be here, to be able to find a weapon that works with this bitch, because I've always hated her and I've never been able to overcome her, and now I have, and we're going to be fighting her again. And I might use this strategy again. I don't know, but we'll see when we get to the final chapter. So her attacks are very, very fast, but they don't start out being fast. So they give you a little opportunity to realize what's being telegraphed to you. And I got to be honest, her attacks are very easy to dodge. I mean, I could play the dodge game for the whole fight, but you need to get in hits. That's the big problem. You need to get over to her. But this weapon is very fast, and it has a decent amount of range. It's great. It's a great weapon. I was using the scythe, but it's just too slow. And and again, this does not have to be a nightmare. Use the Enmasang, spam UTs, or spam the scythe UTs. But only do that if you don't want to become a better player. If you want to become a better player, use this strategy, or find a strategy. It's not hard to find a strategy, because there's so many weapons. This game gives you so many great tools to work with that if you can't find a strategy, one can't be found. Other things you can do, the Falcon's Talons at level 3, you can fly swallow her with the wind run into a flying swallow, and hit her with I think it's called the Roar of the Lion attack. You press the square button 5 times. But this is pretty simple. All I'm doing is throwing Nimpo when I need iframes, pressing XXY when she goes over to me and I evade backwards. But I decided I had 3 Nimpo left. Let me just finish her off with a Nimpo, and I could get the job done. But damn, that bitch ain't easy.